What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Carefree Lewis G and welcome back to another match preview. And this time it's Carabao Cup action. We've got Everton. We've got an Everton side who are in a really bad position now. They're reeling off the back of the sacking of their manager Ronald Koeman and also the fact that they have not won a single game out of their last 5. So this is an Everton side who could be coming to Stamford Bridge with absolutely no confidence, or due to the fact that they have lost their new manager, there could be an air of freshness around the place, maybe a sudden lifting of pressure, and the fact that, because there have been rumours of Ronald Koeman falling out with some of the players in the build-up to his sacking, which could mean that there could be a much higher morale around the place, which could work to their advantage. And also something that could be working to our disadvantage is, again, the thing that I've been talking about for a while, the lack of depth and the exhaustion in our side. In an ideal world, I'd really like to just have Conte completely change the full 11 and still be able to get a comfortable win against Everton, but the fact is, if we change the full 11, we are probably going into the game with a disadvantage. But my personal opinion is, I couldn't care less. I will care about the competition if we progress past this game, but as of right now, a lot of our first team players are exhausted, and this is not the competition for me to risk putting players out, risking injury, and then just having more players out for long-term periods. We have Bakayoko and David Luiz who were carrying knocks and still had to play the Watford game, and you could see it had an impact on them. Bakayoko didn't have a good game, but again, because he had a knock. David Luiz had a better game, but he dropped to the floor like twice, holding on to his legs, so you could tell that he was still carrying some sort of knock. You had Marcus Alonso who looked exhausted. The same could be said for a lot of the players. So, to be honest, I want to see as much rotation as possible. Looking into the team news for Chelsea, it's more or less the same. Kante and Moses still out with hamstring injuries. Drinkwater's out with a calf injury, and David Luiz and Bakayoko are still carrying knocks but could still be able to play. Again, I'm hoping that they don't, simply because they don't need to play in this game. We've got much more important games coming up. We've got Bournemouth on Saturday, literally 3 days after the Everton game, and then we've got a trip to Roma. So, out of those 3 games, no offence to the Carabao Cup, but this is the game that matters the least. So, let's not focus about this game. Let's try and progress with as much rotation as possible. If we don't get past, we don't get past. But let's keep in contention in the Premier League and in the Champions League. Moving on to Everton's team news, Idrissa Gana Gueye is out with a suspension after he got sent off against Arsenal. But Morgan Schneiderlin and James McCarthy are in training and they are in selection for this game. So I'm guessing Morgan Schneiderlin will probably slot in replacement of Gueye. Ross Barkley, Funes Mori, Balassi, Seamus Coleman, all suffering long-term knocks, so they're not going to be a part of this game. They're out for long periods of time, so they're out of contention as well. So looking into all of this, my predicted lineup, again, is going to have as much rotation as possible, but I also want to try and keep it realistic, so there are still going to be some first-team players in there. But I'm going to try to rotate as much as possible. Again, I would like to see us win this competition, but at this time, there's too much risk going into it. Into my predicted lineup, in goal, I'm going to go with Willy Caballero. Hasn't really seen much action. I think the only game he's played in was against Nottingham Forest in the previous round of this competition, so I like seeing him get some minutes in there. He's a very solid goalkeeper, so you wouldn't be seeing a massive drop in class. So I just drop Willy Caballero in there. In the centre of our back 3, Andreas Christensen, he didn't play against Watford, so he'd be a fresh player to put into the mix. Again, there's not really much of a drop in class between Christensen and David Luiz, and even if I wanted to put in David Luiz, he wouldn't be at 100%, so straight up, Christensen slots in. On the left side, I put in Gary Cahill, mainly because he did play against Watford on Saturday, but we're not really filled with options, so we're going to have to go with what we're going to have to go with. So Gary Cahill will slot in on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Jake Clark-Salter. This guy, I'm not sure if he came on as a sub against Nottingham Forest, but if he didn't, then this would be his first start for the season. Again, I'm trying to make as much rotation as possible. Let's give him the start. For all we know, he could actually have a good game and he could be a bit of a revelation. So let's see what happens with him. At right wing back, I'm going to go with Zappacosta. Zappacosta came on as a substitute against Watford. Again, had a very good game. I would start him mainly because he would be fresh for this match. And we probably have to put an Azpilicueta at wing back for the game against Bournemouth. So I'm okay with starting him. Again, if we had the option to put someone else, I would, but it's the team that we're stuck with. In left wing back, I'm going to go with Kennedy, and I'm going with Kennedy because he had a great game against Nottingham Forest, and straight up, Marcos Alonso just needs a rest. Like, watching him over the last few games, you can just tell the man is exhausted. I remember against Watford watching Hazard coming in closer centrally and waiting for Alonso to overlap, and he wasn't doing it. Again, I'm thinking exhaustion's coming into it there, so I would put Kennedy in. I would just give Marcos Alonso the game off to rest and hopefully come back fresh for Bournemouth. Going into centre mid, I'm going to put in Ethan Ampadu in centre mid on the left hand side, mainly because he's another one who came in as a sub against Nottingham Forest. I personally, when I saw him in July, I'm not sure who he faced, but I was watching one of the development team's games. He really stood out to me because his composure on the ball was just immense. So I would go with Ethan Ampadu.
Ampadu, he will score a goal for you. Ampadu, he will score you 1 or 2. This is what you get for recording my flat loads. Move on. You've made a single chicken. That is vile. That is disgusting. Karen, what were you saying?
Yeah, I'd go with Ethan Ampadu in centre mid. Again, from when I saw him playing in July, very composed on the ball. He was one of the players that really stood out to me. And again, with the fact that I'm trying to make as much rotation as possible, let's give him a run now. Let's see how he does over the 90 minutes.
I want to see Ethan Ampadu so badly. That man's my new man crush. He's my new challenger.
Your man crush?
I love him.
I've seen him play for 30 minutes.
I don't care.
Okay, moving on. Onto the second set. Oh, you've got.
Yeah.
Okay, back to it. Oh yeah, by the way, subscribe to Louis Benevent. Moving on to the other centre mid place. I would want to put Carl Scott in there, but I'm also trying to be a bit more realistic, and the fact is we're not going to go with 2 youth team centre mids. So I'm going to put in Cesc Fabregas, and I'm also going to say that early on in the second half will probably be swapped with Bakayoko. Mainly because, again, I'm going to keep saying it again and again, rotation, and I want to try and rest as many first team players as possible in this game. Fabregas, again, we know what he can do, we know what he can't do, we know athleticism isn't really his best strength at this point, but we are really limited with options. So Cesc Fabregas drops in centre mid, and then early on into the second half, swap him for Bakayoko. In strike, we're going to go with Michy Batshuayi. Had a very good game against Watford, I'm going to give him that. He played very well, and I'm hoping he shows the same form against Everton. What I want to see from him is consistency, him making those runs, him getting into the box, him getting in those positions to receive the ball. If he can do that more often, he will start silencing a lot of haters, myself included. I'm not going to say I'm a hater, I'm going to say I'm a doubter. He's going to silence a lot of doubters if he can continue doing those performances as he did against Watford. Left mid, I'm going to go for Charlie Masunda. Again, he's come out and said that he does want more opportunities. This game is perfect for him. Let him come out and let him run the show. If he is as good as he says he is, which I believe he is, he will come out and he will produce an amazing performance against Everton. Watch this. If Masunda plays against Everton, he will be amazing, and hopefully it leads to even more opportunities for him in the future. And in the last position at right forward is going to be William. Again, it's another player who has come under a lot of stick this season. Hopefully this game is a chance for him to show that he still has what it takes to be a Chelsea starter. He's had a terrible season, but again, really low on options. Plus, this is the type of competition where you give other people opportunities, and this is an opportunity for Willian to come out there and to silence a lot of doubters, as well as Michy Batshuayi has the same chance. So this, I know this is a weird lineup, but again, this is the competition where we just need to rotate players, we need to rest players, because there are tougher games coming up, and we just don't have the depth to put in the players that we want, and to risk them getting an injury or not. So let's see what happens with this game. I'm honestly not that confident, mainly because of the fact that I think it's a bit of a lose-lose scenario. If we play our first team, we're going to be playing a tired first team. If we play an inexperienced team, the fact is they lack the experience. So again, let's just see what happens. I'm not going to do a score prediction because I honestly have no idea. I don't even know whether we're going to put a rotated lineup or not. So let's just see what happens. But guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G. Again, also don't forget to like and subscribe to Louis Beneventi's channel. His little cameo right there. You gonna say anything?
Oh, wait, let me come on.
Come on.
I just realised something, right?
Go on.
You know this sofa?
Yeah.
And that's basically the casting couch, except not sexual.
Yeah, this is basically your channel, my channel.
Chris maybe.
Chris has a channel?
Maybe. Does Chris have a channel? Will Chris have a channel? Let us know down in the comments. But more importantly, yeah, like you said, make sure you subscribe to me. Right now, it's processing. It's on my laptop. If you follow me on Snapchat, which will also be down in the description, and on Twitter and everything, and on my socials, you will see that I was at the FIFA Best Awards last night. Well, yeah, So in terms of recording,
yeah,
last night, or tonight, I don't know, whatever. Last night I was at there. But yeah, it was. I did a little vlog of that, and it shaped up quite nicely, wouldn't you say? You watched it already, haven't you?
Seen parts of it.
Seen parts. You've seen it being edited. So yeah, if you want to check that out, make sure you head across there. Also, make sure you subscribe to him to Chelsea. Most importantly, though, make sure you subscribe to this man. He's working hard, and he's actually going places with this, and he needs to get his arse into gear with this thing. With your channel, you need to start doing more content.
I'm doing more content.
Okay, good. All right.
Just way up. They'll be coming out very, very soon.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave you to sign off then, but make sure you subscribe to me. Bye.
Yeah, again, subscribe to Louis Beneventi, subscribe to 100% Chelsea, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G. And we will see you guys very, very soon. Up the Chelsea.